You know, Pat Riley said something many years ago. I used to have it up on my board when I was a head coach in Sacramento, and I talked about the evolution in this game and how you go from a nobody to an upstart, and you go from an upstart to a winner, and a winner to a contender, and a contender to a champion. And the last step is after you're a champion is to be a dynasty. So we're not satisfied. We accomplished something this franchise has never done before, but we have a lot of young, talented players in that locker room. And I think we just showed through 16 playoff wins what we're capable of on the biggest stage in the world.
First thing is first, congratulations to our 2023 NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. It took over 45 years, but there is now an NBA title in Denver, and honestly, I could not be more jealous and yet happy for this franchise and its fans at the same time. While I'm over here incredibly excited for Denver and its fans, Jokic is acting like this is all simply another day for him, and I love it.
You are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
You said after the Lakers win, you said you were surprised that you didn't feel more. So I'm curious what you are feeling right now, and if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home. Okay.
Jokes aside, what a time to be alive for the Denver Nuggets and their fan base. Over the years, this franchise has been through a lot. Remember that this team is only a few years removed from Michael Porter Jr.'s season-ending back surgery and Jamal Murray tearing his ACL. About half a year after tearing his ACL, Murray would tweet out that work now will show later. And well, he couldn't be more right. In these playoffs alone, Murray would drop 37 or more points 3 times. His averages look pretty good too. In this year's playoffs, Murray would average 26.1 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.7 rebounds through 20 playoff games.
Way to get you one, baby.
I know.
Way to get you one.
Thank you.
I appreciate you staying patient with me.
Oh, no.
I appreciate you staying patient with me. Y'all could have done it. We got a different route. I appreciate you staying with me, man. We got it done. I love you. Love you.
As I bring all of this up, keep in mind that this team is just a year removed from being a first-round exit. Now, why do I bring this up, you ask? Well, that's because this team could have easily panicked. They had multiple opportunities to, but they didn't. The Nuggets could have easily fired coaches, broke up its core, and made some headline-grabbing win-now moves that made them paper champions and universal favorites. Instead, this team stayed the course and added key contributors in the offseason. Acquiring guys like Christian Brown, Bruce Brown Jr., KCP, and locker room all-star DeAndre Jordan might not make you favorites in Vegas, but it will make your team a whole lot deeper. It truly feels like Calvin Booth built the perfect team for Jokic and Murray, continuing to build on the foundation that Tim Big Money Connolly laid, which, by the way, major shout out to Tim and Aaron Gordon, who was a Tim Connolly acquisition. This guy has pretty much been the third most important player on the Nuggets in these playoffs. The defense has been phenomenal and the cuts have been very timely. And as we all know, if you cut, Jokic is going to find you. The way that Jokic is able to elevate the game of his entire team as a 6'11 center is truly amazing. I don't think that I've ever seen anything like what Jokic is doing. This season, we've reached a point where this man's greatness has been undeniable, and yet somehow, people have still been finding a reason to hate, and that's something that we have to talk about. But first, today's content is brought to us by PrizePicks, which is the best way to play daily fantasy in states such as Florida, California, Georgia, Texas, and more. Guys, just because the NBA season is officially done, that doesn't mean that PrizePicks is slowing down. You see, PrizePicks has a wide selection of sports for you to dive into. Tonight, I'm going to be diving into the MLB and the WNBA. You guys know that there was no shot that I was passing this taco up. If the legend Diana Taurasi gets just 14.5 points, that projection hits for me. To get started on PrizePicks, download the app or click the link in the description below. And remember to use code COOP when you sign up, because when you do, you get your first deposit instantly doubled.
Joker ain't no joke.
You feel me? You feel me?
I know exactly.
I think that Lil Wayne is all of us after watching Jokic dominate. What I love so much about Lil Wayne saying this is that, realistically, Game 4 wasn't the Joker's best game, and yet he would still find a way to enter the history books yet again. I say this completely relatively, but Game 4, Jokic only went 8 of 19 from the field for 23 points. Now, to be fair, he did also have 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks, which would actually put him in some elite company. With this Game 4 stat line, he would join LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Tim Duncan as the only players ever to have 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks in the NBA Finals. Jokic had 3 blocks and 3 steals, and yet some people still believe that he does not play any defense. Now, of course, I say that tongue-in-cheek, because these stats alone, like many others, never tell the full story. But when they match what you see on the floor, they can be validated. This might sound dumb, but you can block 5 shots in a game and have a bad defensive game. The same way that you can steal the ball 5 times and also have a bad defensive game. If you guys don't believe me, just watch some old Hassan Whiteside tape.
Smart finds Tatum. Has the height advantage on Lillard. Excellent defense from Lillard. Cantor the fake. Tried to finish.
For those that don't know, Jokic is not a bad defender at all. He legitimately has some of the best hands in the league, though he'll probably never lead the league in block shots like a Jaren Jackson Jr. or an Anthony Davis. His instincts, positioning, and IQ have made it so that he doesn't have to in order to be an impactful defender. There's a reason that this man led all big men in the playoffs, averaging 3.2 deflections a game. In fact, only 4 players period would average more deflections than him, which again isn't bad for somebody that doesn't play any defense. When it comes to Jokic, I feel like people will say anything in an attempt to discredit him, even if it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. For example,
I get you. Here's my counter to that. Jokic isn't known for having some kind of dominant post game now. That's not his game.
Hold on a second.
It's not his game. He's not a dominant. Is he a dominant post player?
No. Hey,
is Jokic a dominant post player?
Stephen A., we've got 10 years of tracking data. You know what the #1 most efficient half-court play is in 10 years across the NBA?
What?
A Nikola Jokic post.
What is it?
There you go.
Whoa.
Boom.
Whoa.
Boom.
Hold on, wait. Talk. JJ.
I'm done.
Now, to be fair to Stephen A., shortly after saying this, he would try to clarify what he meant. He claimed that what he was referencing was physical dominance. After his clarification, we would even get an "I stand corrected" out of him, which is something that you have to commend. That shows growth if nothing else, but you know what? That's besides the point. The point is that when it comes to Jokic, it literally feels like we've heard everything. Even that the back-to-back MVP of the league is a tub of lard, despite being one of the most well-conditioned players in the league who carries his team night in and night out.
I understand that this big tub of lard that can't jump onto a curb is unstoppable. It's unstoppable. Listen, I love Nikola Jokic. Love him. It's just unbelievable to watch him. It really, really is. He ain't harder to guard than Steph Curry.
Did I mention that the guy also doesn't miss games? Guys, Jokic is different, and that is the only Jokic narrative that I'm willing to accept right now. In these playoffs, the unique point center will become the first player in NBA history to lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists, having 600 points, 269 rebounds, and 190 assists. To average this out across his 20 playoff games in which the Nuggets went a disgusting 16-4, that's 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists per game. This man almost averaged a 30-point triple-double for the entire NBA playoffs. If that doesn't silence you as a hater, then nothing probably will. This man had to go through good defensive players in Rudy Gobert Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo to emerge as a champ, and well, he did. Guys, in the comments below, let me know where you rank this Nikola Jokic playoff run. Also, let me know where you're ranking him all time as a center right now. Miami fans, I know I didn't talk about your team this video, but I want to congratulate you guys on a very successful season also. I know that you guys didn't win a championship, but if you ask me, there's something to be said about this team's continued postseason success. Don't worry guys, we're going to have a dedicated Miami Heat video coming out very soon. Guys, subscribe right now, you're not going to want to miss a video. Trust me, this offseason is going to be bonkers. But yeah guys, let me know what you think of everything. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.